Hello everyone, how's it going? This is Ryan, and today, in the light of the new season 5 of Stranger Things, which will be coming out any week now, I believe it's on the 26th or the 27th of November, we're going to be doing a tier list video. Now, basically, in today's video, I'm just going to be rating, in my opinion, which characters I think are the best and the worst. This is going to be a controversial one, so if anyone disagrees with anything I put, it's just my opinion. Please don't hurt me. But hopefully you guys do share the same opinions as me, at least for the most part. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on to Argyle. So Argyle, I think, is a very interesting character because he hasn't been like with us very long, but he very much brings that comedic kind of relief to season 4, and it's kind of funny to have a supporting character like that alongside Jonathan to give a new perspective to the sensible brother who's looking after his little brother and blah 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 blah. So Argyle, I would have to say, is a pretty decent character. I wouldn't say he's I don't think he's like up there as in like he's really really good. I think he's just one of those characters that's really funny. He's fun. He's comic relief, and he elevates other characters around him. But I think if we had more of him and we got to saw more context and layers around him as a character, 100%, I would probably rate him a bit higher than that. Next, we have Billy. So, do you know what? Billy, I think, obviously, he was a massive, massive pain in the bum in season 2. But do you know what? He played the role perfectly as an actor. Fantastic actor. Can never pronounce his name. Duckray. Can't even say it. I'm not even going to try. But you also saw the two sides to him and that vulnerability in season 3 and how, he basically went to save Max. So I'm going to have to put him as an A-class character. Honestly, I almost want to put him at GOAT status just because I know that he is such an iconic character despite his short time in the series. But I think there are slightly stronger characters than him, from my opinion, so I'm going to put him in the A class. Bob Newby. So I honestly think that Bob was a really fun character. He really fit that kind of hole in the Byers kind of household, and really brought like a nice kind of personality to that season he was in, season 2. I wouldn't rate him to be a standout character. I would say every single person was like traumatized when he died. But I think he was very much a loved character as well, so I would have to put him in the decent category as well. Dr. Brenner. Now, Dr. Brenner is a bit of a weird one. I don't think he's a character that everyone likes as such, but I think he has got a great dynamic with Eleven, and it brings a lot of angles to the whole dilemma, the whole dynamic, and the whole dialogue between him and Eleven, and the kind of backstory and all that. I would probably put him as okay-ish. I wouldn't say I hate him as a character. It's not really the way. What I would put it down to is I don't think he's given the platform in this series to be a likable character, but as an actor and as a contribution to the storyline, I think he is very crucial to the Stranger Things, at least for the first few seasons, and even back in season 4, he played an important part in that season too. Dustin Henderson is. Do you know what? Do I put him in the GOAT status or the A? I'm going to have to put him. Oh, that's so tough. I'm going to put him in A class for now because he's not my favourite character. There's only maybe 2 people I'm looking at on this list that I would put as GOAT status right now. But I might change. I might put Dustin up potentially. We'll see what happens. Really likable character. I like his grr, or like his like lip roll thing he does when he's trying to be smooth. It's really funny. Eddie Munson, GOAT status. Don't even have to say anything else really. Eddie, for the short time he was in, the character he brought, the whole energy he brought, and the way that fans took to him, incredible. And also he had one of the most iconic scenes in Stranger Things with the whole guitar solo in the Upside Down. He's just a really likable character, and you see kind of 2 sides to him. So you see like what the outside is of him. So you very much see He's this degenerate rocker guy who everyone's a bit intimidated by in some way, and he's very loud and out there, and people are a little bit like in a shell about that. But then when you get to see how he is with Chrissy and how he is with Dustin, and when you go throughout the series, you see his vulnerable side and how he's not actually this brave, big, bad guy that people tend to perceive him as. 11, I think, is an A-class character. I would, as a personality, I know this is going to be a controversial one, I would probably put her as decent. But in terms of the fact that she has powers and, various other things, like her contribution to the whole dynamic of Stranger Things, I have to put her as an A-class character. Erica Sinclair. You can't spell America without Erica. A-class, say less. Same with Hopper. Hopper, I think, is such a likable character. He's so important to Stranger Things. I almost want to put him as GOAT status. It's so tempting, but I'm not going to do it. I just think he's such a good character. He's got so many dynamics, and his relationship with Joyce is really good. And also his relationship with Eleven, and the whole end of season 4, how he comes back. It's just, there's so much about David Harbour, which is really nice to watch. Jonathan Byers, I'm going to put him... I'm going to put him... And this is going to be a very controversial one. I'm going to put him as okay-ish. The reason for that, I don't think there's anything... And this is just my personal opinion. I don't think there's anything about his character that screams out to me, oh, I like his character so much. I think with Jonathan, he's a very crucial character, but I don't think he stands out in comparison to some of the other characters in the series. Winona Ryder, aka Joyce Byers, I'm going to put as a decent character, purely because I think her acting level and her personality and her presence in this series is spot on. She also has her moments where she's really fun, where she starts absolutely ranting at Murray or whatever it might be, and I really do like her as a character. I just don't think that, from a point of view as at least people of my demographic, maybe the younger audiences that watch Stranger Things, or the sort of young adults or whatever it might be, I just don't think she resonates with people in my demographic as much as the younger characters. Karen Wheeler, I'm going to put okay-ish, because I don't think she really stands out enough. There's not really a lot of comedy. I think she's probably in there more for the fact that she is a really good actor, and she's been in a lot of good films over the years, and maybe the people that watch Stranger Things that are a little bit older than myself, probably that have followed her or are a fan of her previous work, I think she'd probably be more tailored to people of that kind of demographic. Lucas Sinclair, I'm going to put him as decent. So I think Lucas is a pretty, I don't know, he's somewhere between decent and A-class. I think he's one of the actual key actors in the series, obviously the main 4 boys. Excuse me, got a cough. I just don't think he's got the same level of presence as the likes of Dustin, in a sense of, the kids. But he does have his good moments, and to be honest, if I took Dustin out of the mix, he probably is my favourite of the 4 boys. Max Mayfield. I'm also going to put Max as a... I almost want to put her as A-class. I'm going to put her as decent. And the reason why I'm putting her as decent is I think in Season 4, we saw so much to Max's character. And to be honest, she had the most badass scene in all of Stranger Things. The best scene I've ever seen in Netflix is her running up that hill where she escapes from Vecna when the song gets played, and she runs back to her friends in the graveyard type thing. I just don't think her character resonates with me personally. I think if someone else was doing this review, it'd be quite justified for them to put her as A-class, maybe higher. I look for different things in a character. That's just my opinion. Mike Wheeler, I'm going to put him... Do you know what? I'm going to have to put him as okay. I like Mike as an actor. I think he's got some really good talents as a singer. I think he's very important to Stranger Things as a series. I just don't think he's got that resonance with me in a sense of like humor, and I like the characters that are fun. They have their moments on screen where they're a bit comedic. I don't know. I just don't have that with Mike personally. Murray Bauman. Oh, I almost want to put him as goat status. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to put him as A class. Uh, Goat status is very limited, so I think Murray is the perfect example of a character that I look for. I think, although he's not my favorite character, he is very funny, and yeah, I'm a massive fan of his moments where he's like doing the karate or the kung fu on the plane against Yuri, and like he's quoting like my legs are like spears and blah 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 blah. I think he's so funny, and the bald eagle code name and stuff. Nancy Wheeler, I'm gonna have to put her as, oh, it's either decent or A class. I'm gonna go A class, and the reason for this, I think that Nancy is such an underrated character. The big focus is on 11, Max, the boys, and the kids, right? But if you look at some of the moments that Nancy's had, she's this, this straight A, sensible girl who's just dating like the high school jock type thing at the start of season 1, and she very quickly becomes like this person who's like blowing Vecna's guts out with a shotgun whilst he's on fire out of a window and this slow mo. She's just so cool, is what I put it to. And I also like her moment with Dustin at the ball, or the snowball, or whatever it's called, when she goes over and gives him a dance and stuff like that. I think she's got a side to her. So yeah, I'd have to put her in the A class. I'm gonna put this guy. I can't actually never remember his name, but I'm gonna put him as okayish. I think he's a nicer person above Dr. Brenner, but in a sense of his presence, I just don't think he brings the same level as engagement as the other characters that are above him. I think you need characters which are engaging, and you need characters which really do support the fundamentals of other parts of the narrative. Dr. Brenner, Jonathan, Nancy Wheeler, Mike, like all these people are that purpose, and they're really strong at that. You can't just have people that are really funny all the time and it be this kind of series. So Robin, I'm going to put as A class or decent. I'm going to put her A class, and the reason why I'm going to put her A class is I think she's once again comedic. I think she has a different personality to most of the people in the cast. I think she's got this very sort of chat to herself kind of thing where she's just like in her own head and speaking out loud and oh my god, blah, blah, blah. And like I think it's a really nice dynamic to have as a character. Steve the Hare Harrington. Now this is either going to be very much appreciated or very, very despised. Goat status. I'm sorry, Steve the Hare Harrington has got the best character development in all of Stranger Things. Like he was an absolute knob in season 1, and he is literally like one of the most loved characters amongst fans now. He's the babysitter. He's in season 4. He's saying about how he wants to have a family and like all these little Harringtons running around with an RV and blah blah blah. His journey is so nice to watch, and he also has a lot of comedic moments, like when he was injected with Robin and stuff, and the scoops outfit is iconic. He's just such an iconic character, and I think Stranger Things, although he's not the main character, I think it would be so different without Steve. Vecna, I'm gonna have to put Vecna as a decent character. I don't think Vecna in his Vecna form is as good as when you look at the Henry side of it, when he helps 11 escape in season 4. I just think if this, I'm rating this very much on just Vecna, not Henry, number 1, whatever. Henry / number 1 / Vecna, whatever. I think Vecna is a decent character, but it would probably be more like A class if it was both. Will Byers, I'm going to have to put okay. because with Will, I just, once again, he's not got that side to him where I think I really enjoy watching him when he's on the screen. However, I can also appreciate that he plays such a fundamental role. And to be honest, Stranger Things is almost, in a lot of senses, based around events that happened with him, and that's where this all kind of situates around. So that's my list. Let me know if you disagree. I'm sure that 99% of you are probably going to disagree with at least one thing on there. Like I said, guys, it is my opinion. Please don't dislike the video or say mean things to me just because I've got things in a different order, even if it's some more than others. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and what you think, what you would rate, who you would put in the top tier, who you would put drastically different to what I've done. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Subscribe, like, and comment as well. I forgot to say that. Bye bye.